Okay, welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. Thank you for being here. Court Fiction says clickbait, prove me wrong. This is the most important video on the internet today because it deals with your life. If you don't have your life, you don't have anything. And I'm going to prove to you why it's about your life, because it's about your freedom. If you don't have freedom, you don't have anything. If you have no freedom and a life, you've got no quality of life. There's a saying, those who desire to be ignorant and free desire what never was and what never shall be. As you move away from ignorance and toward knowledge, especially in things that have to do with your freedom and legality and laws and what the government is and what money is, what constitutes money and relationships, until you move away from the ignorance on those things, you cannot move into any kind of freedom. We're going to look at freedom in action. We're going to look at the actions of a free man, a free thinking man, who's instituting and basically bringing into being actions that resist the current paradigm, because the current paradigm is slavery. Fear is the devil's tool, and apathy, indifference, and ignorance are the devil's playground. 28 USC 3002-15A says that the United States means, and I'm quoting, the United States means federal corporation. This is a federal corporation. It isn't just a country. And you are viewed as a corporate entity. You're viewed as a person. You're not viewed as a man or woman of the earth. And then you get into legalese, and then it dilutes reality. And it starts basically taking over what reality really is. And it starts laying down a whole bunch of fiction. See, the problem in our world is not government. It's people who have a belief that there is something called government, to the point where they believe literally government is a God and we must obey that God and we must carry out our God's commands. That's just what has to be done. That's how they treat laws, as though they were commands that came down from Mount Sinai and tablets in the hands of Moses. This is from the Almighty God. It says if you don't have a tag light, I have to issue this citation that's, $200 or $300. It says because you're 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, you have to get a ticket for being 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. We got to understand, guys, that government is a construct of belief that means that a group of men has a higher claim over your life and property than you. I've said this a lot, but it's got to sink down. So when cops are talking to us, they're talking to us on a fictional plane, trying to stuff fiction into reality and trying to make it a reality in our life. The danger is not government. The danger is not even the policies. The danger isn't even psychopathic, parasitic politicians. The danger is the order followers who are going to put those political parasitic scribblings on fancy pieces of paper into action in your life. And they are the ones who are going to put their physical hands on you and take you into a cage. That's why this is the most important video on the internet today. And we're going to watch a guy go against everything that anybody has ever been taught about registration and licenses and forced insurance, and you got to pull over and obey the traffic law. Will he make it out of this thing alive? Will he make it out without them breaking his window and going into his private property and dragging him and his friend out? We're going to take a look. I'm going to give you a little teaser right now. And this right here is from the YouTube channel, The Captain's Lifestyle. I love this guy. I put a message under one of his videos, under this video right here, actually saying, hey, come on the show, come on a live stream. Let's try to work all this stuff out. I want to talk to everybody on the plane of I'm a man and you're a man. I'm a man, you're a woman. Men, women, that's all we are. That's all we've got is our humanity, not our personhood, not our statehood, not our citizens. You're not a citizen, guys. A citizen is a denizen or a subject of the city. Are you a subject? Does another man or group of men have jurisdiction over you? Can they tell you what you should or shouldn't do? As long as you're not committing a crime. And that's another thing. What is crime? Can you actually have committed a crime if you have not created an injured party, damaged somebody's stuff, harmed another person, threatened to harm another person? Can you actually have a crime? Is it really a crime when the parasitic, psychopathic politicians write things on fancy pieces of paper and pass them into bills and then turn them into laws? Is it really a crime if you disobey a politician? Have you really committed a crime and created an injured party when you failed to obey or comply with a law enforcement officer's command? Have you really? This is what we've been taught to believe. We have become products of the 15,000-hour public fool indoctrination program that taught us, hey, there are authorities. There are government officials that are above you and they can issue commands and edicts at will and you have to obey them. And if you obey them, you're good. If you disobey them, you're evil, you're bad, you're wrong. You deserve to have your freedoms taken away. You deserve to have your property confiscated. You deserve to go into a cage. That's what people believe. So government is a construct of belief based on the scribblings and writings of psychopaths. Isn't it time we turn the corner of humanity and start just acting like men and women responsible for our own actions? And then if we do commit a crime, create a reputation-based society that are going to speedily and justly deal with the criminals? Because we don't have a justice system these days. We have an injustice system. There are hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people out of the 2.1 to 2.3 million people in our prison industrial complex that are absolutely innocent and have harmed nothing. We call them non-violent crimes. It's infuriating. And the reason we got there is because we continue to accept that which is legal, equating that with that which is moral. And when somebody declares a psychopathic politician or a law enforcer says something's illegal, we equate that with immorality. So here's a little teaser right here.
Being here.
This is Laguna Beach, California.
Means that you need to follow the rules here.
I understand that's what you believe.
Okay. That's reality. So, have you had time to...
Did you hear what the cop said? So the cop conveyed what he believed, and the captain, we're just going to call him the captain, and the captain says, I understand that that's what you believe. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit, and we're going to get into the meat of this, and I'll try to interrupt as little as possible, but this is a commentary channel, so you are going to get commentary. Listen to this.
Being here means that you need to follow the rules here.
I understand that's what you believe.
Okay. That's reality. So, have you had time to think about it? Because we don't want to take you to jail tonight. We don't want to forcibly remove you from the car. But if you continue to believe that and not go with our lawful orders and all of that stuff, that's what we are going to do. We don't want to do that, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so, I don't think that would be a good idea.
We don't want to do it.
Well, then don't. You have free will.
But also...
Boom! Boom! In the words of Crypto King, frickin' boom. In the words of NC Tyrant Hunter, boom. Hey, we don't want to drag you out of the car. We don't want to break your window. We don't want to put the torture cuffs on you. We don't want to throw you into a cage. But if you continue disobeying politicians' parasitic laws, we're going to have to do that. Why? You're a human being. You can make a choice not to do that. See, I am so convinced that the most evil people on this earth are not just, and they are evil, they are scummy, they are just the misfits of planet Earth. But the truly evil people where the rubber meets the road aren't just the parasitic, psychopathic politicians. It's the law enforcers who turn their minds off and say, well, I'll just follow orders. I'll just do what I'm told, regardless of what is right. Makes no sense to pull somebody out of the car because they didn't pay for a metal plate for the back of they didn't pay for a metal plate for the back of your vehicle. That they didn't pay for forced insurances, which is absolutely a racket. Oh, because you didn't do this. Hey, we don't want to pull you out of the car. We don't want to harm you. We don't want to, break your jaw. But we will. We will. No, if you don't want to do it, if you recognize that as something that shouldn't be done because I didn't commit a crime, I didn't harm anybody, so why would you do that? Why would you try to put a stop to somebody who's just trying to be free and live free and be left alone? Why would you mess with anybody like that? Oh, the reason you are doing that is because you believe in the God called government. and you believe in the system and you believe in the process and you've been indoctrinated and you've bought into the propaganda. Well, I'm here to tell you none of that is reality. It's fiction, and it is downright evil. If you turn off your mind and you just become an order follower, you've become the tunnel through which evil enters into the world. Because you've dropped your guard and you said, hey, it doesn't matter to me if it's right or not. They just told me to do it, so I'm going to do it. That's the excuse the NAZISs used in Nuremberg. I was just following orders. I was just doing my job. I didn't write the laws. I just obey them and follow them, no matter who I hurt, no matter what kind of destruction I exact on the earth, no matter how many lives I ruin. Yeah, I like what Captain says. He goes, well, you don't have to do that. You can exercise. They even say we have officer discretion. Yes, you do. You have 100% discretion, 100% of the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just like we all do, because we are men and women of the earth, period. Wipe all that other legalese, lawyer terminology, all that stuff away. We are just humans. We are just trying to learn, trying to get along with each other, trying not to, normal people don't want to harm other people. Normal people don't defraud other people. If you're defrauding somebody, you're not normal. If you're wanting to harm somebody against their will, without their consent, you are not normal. You have a criminal mind. And that is exactly what law enforcers are doing. They are coming to harm you because there's a piece of paper somewhere and somebody wrote something down and they're just going to obey it, whether it's right or not. They're the conformists. They're doing what they're told. These are my marching orders, regardless of what is right. They're not moralists, which we all should be moralists. Doing what is right, regardless of what we're told. Hey, we're told to do something evil to our neighbor. Not going to do it. Not going to sign up for it. Not going to be a part of an organization where that's what they're all about. It's not going to happen on my watch. And the tunnel through which evil comes, it stops with me. I refuse to be a tunnel for evil. That's why this is the most important video you will see on the internet today, because this guy is going to bravely stand toe-to-toe with the tyrant law enforcers who intend to do him harm. Will he prevail? We'll see.
Just go, because then everybody.
What crime have I committed?
Well, you're driving without a license, right?
A crime requires a victim.
Okay. Well, the state of California is a victim.
State of California is not a person. This is what I'm talking about.
I understand your beliefs, and
I understand your beliefs. See, the funny part about this is, we're talking past each other. I am talking to you people who are in law enforcement, you people who are officers. Just stop and let's just get back to basics. I am a human being. I do not want to do harm to any other human being. That includes extortion. That includes threats. That includes theft. That includes issuing commands and expecting them to be obeyed. And if they disobey them, then I'm going to hurt them. I'm going to put the hurt on them. I'm going to get out my baton and I'm going to damage their property and break their window and drag them out against their will. And if they continue to resist, I'm going to get out my less lethal taser and then my absolutely lethal gun. All because a politician said that this guy needs to pay for his registration. And law enforcement officers every single day at every single traffic stop are saying it is worth putting this person's life on the line because my politician or my state government told me that, hey, he needs license, registration, and proof of insurance. There is as long as we have traffic law, there is no such thing as the supreme law of the land, the Constitution, because at a traffic stop, you lose all of your rights. You're not even free to travel. If you take off, they are going to hunt you down. They are going to bring you to justice, which is really injustice. See, everything in the state is inverted. Everything that they say is good is bad. Everything that they say is bad is good. You notice that people who love the government call the free market the black market. It's the black market. It's the evil market. There's no regulations. It's dangerous. It's evil. It can't be tolerated. They want to create a parallel economy. So we're going to watch this and we're going to do some commentary on it. But this is quite instructive. Please, If you haven't done so already, share this video, get people in this live stream. I want to hear what you guys have to say in the chat. We're going to watch the captain's lifestyle. I don't know what his first name is. We're going to watch Taylor, Captain Taylor Morgan. His name is Taylor. So we're going to watch Taylor do what we all should do. And that is hold fast to our freedom. Give me liberty or give me death. That's the mentality we're going to see.
How are you?
Wonderful. How are you? What's the emergency?
The reason I stopped you is you have no license plate on your car, and you also were going above the speed limit.
Okay.
In case you had about 52 and the speed limit was 40. Do you have your driver's license, registration, and insurance?
No. Do you have a signed warrant or probable cause proving that I committed a crime?
You committed a crime.
With a victim?
Yes.
Who's the victim?
You committed 2 violations.
Who is the victim of what crime?
You violated 2 vehicle codes.
No.
You did.
That's not a crime.
Just remember, when you're talking to a state agent, they are looking at you like this. They are looking at you with government blinders on. The government is right and you're wrong. I've got my marching orders. I'm listening to politicians. And if what you're doing is not aligning up with what my politicians say, then you're doing wrong. You're being the bad boy or the bad girl. You're the evil person. You must be economically terrorized and you must be punished. We have to understand that, guys. We have 2 kinds of people in this world. People who want to be free, people who long for freedom. They want knowledge. They want to, live the fullness of humanity. And there are other people who live off the expense of everybody else. The state will always be that great fiction by which everyone seeks to live at the expense of everyone else. So you're talking about a state functionary who is a human being. They've just been deceived. They've been conned into believing the state is reality and freedom is slavery.
So in that case, you have just violated my 4th Amendment right. You have violated my 4th Amendment right by forcing my car off the road and approaching me with force of arms.
Are you failing to identify yourself to me?
Yes. For my safety, I'm going to assert my 5th Amendment right. For your safety, I'm going to provide you with my affidavit of status.
Don't start reaching for stuff.
This is my affidavit of status. Everything I need to say to you is in this sworn affidavit.
Okay. Don't start reaching for stuff. Okay, you're being detained. You've committed 2 vehicle code violations. You are being legally detained. Are you refusing to identify yourself?
All of the information I need to say to you is in that sworn affidavit.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have you step out of the car for me.
He rolls up his window. I love it. I love it.
Buddy?
No.
Well, we need an attorney?
They're not going to do it.
Now, for a little bit here, his buddy in the passenger side, he's going to waver in and out of kind of giving him a little bit of, giving Taylor a little bit of a hard time. And on the other side going, wow, I kind of see what you're saying, man. I don't know what's going on here. So not only do you have a lot of pressure coming from the cops from the outside, but you also have some pressure. Taylor has some pressure coming from the inside of the vehicle on the inside.
Let me speak to your supervisor, please.
Unlock your vehicle. I'm going to have you step out.
No. I'm getting some water. Actually, where is it? Here we are again, boys. The party's just getting started.
I wonder if I gave him the right thing. Something else.
Hi,
Hello.
just step out.
No,
Okay, so you're being given a lawful order. Step out of the vehicle.
I've not been given a lawful order. I've not committed any crime. You do not have a signed
license
warrant.
plate on your vehicle.
That is not a crime. There is no victim.
It's a vehicle code violation. The state of California is the victim.
Right, that does not apply. If you read my affidavit of status, you'll see that does not apply.
It's a vehicle code violation that tells you everything you need to know about the inner workings of this law enforcement agent, this state agent. He believes traffic code trumps individual rights. He believes traffic code trumps natural rights, even constitutional rights. What's the supreme law of the land in the mind of this cop right now? Traffic law.
So, failure to obey the lawful command is a violation of Penal Code 148.
Okay.
Which is resisting.
Also does not apply.
It does.
I'm not a United States citizen.
Okay, it does apply. You're in California, the city of Laguna Beach.
Yes.
Okay, so we need you to step out.
No.
If you fail to step out, we are going to forcibly break your window and remove you from the vehicle, and you're going to go to jail.
That's the second threat. The first threat came from the female. The second threat came from the male. Remember, that's a woman out there. It's not just, a badged clown in a uniform. That's a woman and a man interacting with another woman and man. So in the humanity plane, they're right here. But because the state has gotten involved and people believe in the fiction called government, now the cop believes he's operating up here above you. And he believes he has the authority and jurisdiction over you as though you were a peasant and they were a master.
I would like to talk with your supervisor. Okay, well, if that's what you want to do, then you will break multiple laws. No. No.
Right. Well,
Everything I need to say is in the sworn affidavit. Have you read that?
I haven't.
Well, it would behoove you if you did.
Why?
It would save us a lot of trouble.
Okay. Do you have your license?
No, I don't.
Okay. You're also required to provide that.
Nope.
You are.
I provided you with my affidavit of status.
Oh. So is this a sovereign citizen ordeal?
Absolutely not. I'm not a citizen.
What are you?
That I hate that. If you go to the Captain's Lifestyle, if you go to Taylor's video on this, YouTube puts an information shelf, an unwanted information shelf from Wikipedia talking about what a SC is, a SOV-sit. They are mutually exclusive and diametrically opposed terms. You can't be a sovereign, in other words, a standalone. You're under nobody's jurisdiction and a citizen. You can't be a sovereign and a citizen, just like you can't be a master and a subject. You're either one or the other. You can't be. Is the king a subject? Is the subject a king? No, they call kings kings and subjects subjects for a reason, because one person has subjected himself to the rulership and lordship of another. There's no such thing as a SOV-sit. It is a made-up term, and they use it to slander and deride people who just want to be free. That's how despicable this whole thing is.
I am a man. Everything I need to say is in that sworn affidavit. I'm done answering questions.
Okay, so here's the thing. We don't want anyone to get hurt. Okay, so we'd like your cooperation. Can we have that?
If you don't want anyone to get hurt, then don't hurt anybody. But our law says, but I thought you said you don't want anybody to get hurt. Yeah, but our politicians said, but you said you don't want anybody to get hurt. So don't hurt anybody. Don't extort anybody. Don't steal from it. It's real simple. And reassess your career choice.
Hello? Like I said, you've begun a lawful order to exit the vehicle. Provide your driver's license, which you're required to do.
Everything I need to say to you is in that sworn affidavit.
Okay, so you're prepared to go to jail?
I'm done answering questions.
It's my backpack. Yeah, hello.
I'll give you a moment to think about it.
So let's run through the scenarios together real quick. One is they break your window and they take you to jail, and you get this sorted out on the back end. Or you get out of the car and they issue a ticket.
No.
Did you hear that? It's almost like, and I'm not saying anything bad about Taylor's passenger here because he's operating on ignorance. He's saying, hey, you know, this could go easier for you if you just get out of the car, you get a citation, and that's it. You know, they won't drag you out of the car. Is it, you know, what's this worth to you, man? Let's listen to what he says. And I'm not down on Taylor's passenger here. We all are at a certain point in our journey. We're all at a certain level of understanding. We're all at a certain level of ignorance, and we all need to learn something from everybody. I can learn something from, you know, anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter where they are in their journey. There's something that can be gleaned. There's something that can be learned. And this is where this passenger is right now. Listen to him again. Listen.
I'll give you a moment to think about it.
So let's run through the scenarios together real quick. One is they break your window and they take you to jail, and you get this sorted out on the back end. Or you get out of the car and they issue a ticket.
No.
Will you talk to us?
No, don't say anything.
Will you talk to us?
Okay, so that is good counsel. That's sound advice from Taylor telling his passenger, hey, don't say anything. I know what you're saying. I know where you're at. But Taylor is resolute. He's not moving. He has planted his feet on the grass of freedom, and he ain't moving. He's literally embodying the spirit of give me liberty or give me death. Give me liberty or break my window. Give me liberty or take me to prison. But I want liberty. And yes, this is worth it.
I'm not involved in this incident, so I don't have much to say. Yeah, I'm not involved in it. I can talk to you right here, sure. Hello. Hey, Officer Meyer. Yeah.
That's not my concern. I don't know if you can maybe try to talk some sense in your friend so he doesn't go to jail.
Talk some sense.
Because that's the last thing we want to do, but we're also going to do this.
What's the alternative?
The alternative?
Yeah, to
Is
him.
him listening to what my partners are instructing him to do, which is, I believe, to get out of the car.
And how will that
and to
result?
Identify himself.
Yeah, I understand that. What will be the result of that?
What do you mean?
Did you just say that I failed to identify myself?
Have you identified yourself to my partners?
Yes.
How so?
I provided them my sworn affidavit. Have you seen that?
Oh, that's not a...
Nobody said that they've read it. That is a sworn affidavit signed and notarized.
Which you need to drive.
It doesn't have.
I am not driving under commerce. I am traveling.
I'm trying to...
Yeah.
You might...
I've presented him with what my assessment is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What is your assessment?
my assessment is that y'all are going to do what you think is right
Yeah.
and what you believe is legal and lawful,
Yeah.
and that
You're right.
could have some consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it also could have consequences back if you guys haven't done your due diligence to read that sworn affidavit.
I kind of like what the passenger said. You're going to do what you believe is legal and right, because that's what the cops believe. They believe legality is right, illegality is wrong. Breaking codes and precepts and regulations and violations to them is evil. And so you're an evildoer. We have to come to the realization that this is literally how they think. You broke traffic code. Therefore, you have done that which is evil. Therefore, you must pay the piper. We got to get people out of that mentality.
And I'm not a cop, so I can't tell you what is and is not the repercussions of that. But you could consider that option as well, even though it may not make sense to you why you would do that and why you wouldn't get out of the car.
Okay.
Yeah. Consider it. Yeah, thank you.
To your knowledge, are there any weapons in the vehicle?
To my knowledge, I cannot state one way or another. So my answer is no. To my knowledge, I have no. To my knowledge, no. Correct.
Do you have your ID on you?
I do, but
Are you gonna provide that to me or not?
I prefer not to.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, driver. While we're sitting here, I'm gonna request that you turn off the car.
He's going to turn. So the request by the cop is turn off the car. He will turn off the car.
Thank you.
So he turned off the car, but every cop knows that the passenger is not required to provide ID. And yet they will still try to pry you away from your Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your person. Why? Because they hate your anonymity. And if they hate your anonymity and they want to violate your rights, then they're hating you. And they see, this is something the cops know it's not a law for you to get there. The politicians haven't even created a law saying, yeah, if there's a passenger in the car, you got to get ID from them. No, that's not a law. And every cop, I guarantee you, every cop knows that. I guarantee you, Todd and everybody else, whoever gave a super chat, I will get to the super chats near the end of this. I promise.
We don't know. There's an affidavit, but we don't know if that's him.
I saw that.
You want ID himself? These are not plates in the car. They're based on visually estimated occupancy. Over here.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How you doing? My name is Sergeant Yielding. So we find ourselves in a bit of a predicament here.
Indeed.
All right. So I've looked over the affidavit that you've provided. Okay. So you believe that the only person that has some control over you is Lord, our God, our Savior, all that, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm a Christian too, right? But I also know that I live.
Okay, so it sounds like the angle Taylor is coming at here is the angle of Christianity, and I serve God, not man. But that can backfire on you because of Romans 13.
Live in the United States of America, right? We both live in the United States of America, do we not?
The United States of America, yes.
Do you pay taxes?
Absolutely not.
You
Legally, no. I'm under no tax obligation.
Yeah, I didn't promise last time, BIP Solar Bear. I didn't promise about reading. So if I missed your super chat, I apologize. I know people get butthurt about that. I apologize.
Because I'm not a citizen of the United States.
Well, I don't believe that.
It doesn't matter what you believe.
Okay. So you drive on these roads which are paid for by taxes and all that stuff, right?
I believe that's what you believe.
Okay. Well, that's reality. So
It's not.
here's where we're at right now.
Okay.
Okay. We are all.
You know what? So I can keep my word. I want to make sure that I read, because when I go to viewer activity, for some reason, things disappear. Todd gave a super chat, said, no government is stronger than the people. We the people. 250 years ago, the Tea Party. Today, Massachusetts going it again, protesting the redcoats for free Karen Reed. I don't know what that means. There is no such thing as government. Government is, we got to understand, government is a fiction. Government is a belief. It's a construct of belief that people have rights that other people don't have. And if you don't have rights that other people have, and other people don't have rights that you have, then government is a fiction, because that is the foundation upon which all government rests. Government is the belief that people have the right to make laws, and if you don't obey them, then they can, in their eyes, rightly punish you. That is not right. That is not a reality. That is a complete fiction. It's as fictional as Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. So there you go. So if there's any other super chats, I will try to get them done by the end of the live stream.
All to abide by the rules set forth by our government. Okay?
If you are a citizen of the United States corporation.
Again, I believe that you were saying that you are not, that you're entitled to believe that, but there's also what we need to follow. Even though we believe that we're not, we're still bound by those laws.
What we need to follow, we're bound by writings. Think about how stupid that is. We're bound by the writings of the politicians. We got to do it because they wrote it. Look, it's written down. It's too late. We got it right here. We got to do it. That is such nonsense. That's such childish thinking. That's such an order following cancerous mentality. Can people not see that?
I follow natural law, which if you have a signed warrant or probable cause proving that I committed a crime where there is a victim, a physical victim, then absolutely I will.
I understand what you're saying. I do understand that. Okay. But you did break a law. So are you telling me
a violation?
Let me just ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay. You believe that you can go whatever speed you want on these roads?
If there is no victim, yes. However, I don't believe that that is what you should do.
Okay. So you're saying that by speeding there is no victim?
Correct.
But if you were to run into somebody,
absolutely,
then there's a victim there?
Yes. And then you should be held accountable.
Okay. You're also believing that you're not supposed to have registration on your car and a license plate and all that stuff, right?
Yes, because I'm not driving under any commercial means. I'm traveling.
No, I understand what you're saying. So we don't want to have any kind of issues.
Likewise.
Okay? And there are certain things that you need to follow when you're given a lawful order by a police officer. Okay? That's just the way it is. That's just the
Wow, this covers the religious nature of government and believers in government and followers and state agents and functionaries. He's saying this is just the way it is. Okay, where's the proof? Where's the proof that the way it is built on fiction, and you're still saying this is just the way it is? And then the cop is telling Taylor that we understand this is your belief. No, actually, there's a difference between believing and knowing. Belief is the enemy of knowing, and knowing is the enemy of belief. Now, you believe that you're supposed to be doing this because the politicians said. You believe you're supposed to be doing this because your indoctrination public fool system said. But there's no proof that anybody has a higher claim over the life and property of anybody else. And if there's no proof for that, then there's no foundation for you to believe something that's not provable. I, on the other hand, am just a man. I don't have rights higher than you. You don't have rights higher than me. Will you agree with that? Yes, I agree with that. I can't tell you what to do if I get 300 of my friends, let's say 435 of my friends here in the House of Representatives and 100 friends in the Senate. If I get 435 plus 100, if I get 535 of my friends together and we write down and we agree that we can tell you to do this, and if you don't do it, you'll be punished. Are you going to agree to that? No, you're not going to agree to that because it's absolutely wrong to do. We don't have the right to do it. If we individually don't have the right to boss you around and hurt you if you disobey us, then we don't have the right to do it if we all get together and tell you that you need to obey us or we're going to punish you. Do you understand that this cop is actually revealing to you the fundamental nature of the fiction of government, the religion, the God, the superstition called government? This is in action, in real time.
Which I provided. I provided my identification.
I understand, again, your beliefs, okay? Regardless of
Your
what
beliefs.
you believe, you are to follow these rules. And that's just the unfortunate circumstance that you find yourself in, okay? If you were to live in another country or another province, whatever, and they have different laws, you would still need to follow those laws.
I understand what you're saying.
Right. So,
what I'm saying is that I am not under the jurisdiction of Laguna Beach, of state of California. It's not a matter of belief. It's a matter of fact. If you read the affidavit of status,
well, that's your affidavit,
right?
Yeah.
Which is an affidavit of
But
fact.
that doesn't negate you from following the rules of where you're at currently.
It does, because that only applies to citizens.
Okay, well, you're driving on the roads here in Laguna Beach.
I'm traveling.
California, which is the United
This is why you should never, ever call yourself a citizen, a denizen of the city, a subject of the policies and ordinances and rules and regulations and laws of the city. That's why there can be no such thing as a sovereign ... fill in space citizen. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing. You're either sovereign or you're a what? Citizen.
United States of America.
I'm traveling, which does not
That's fine.
require a license.
Whatever vernacular you choose to describe what you are doing, you are currently here in Laguna.
Yes.
Okay, physically here. Your body and
In the location of Laguna Beach, not the corporation of city of Laguna Beach.
being here means that you need to follow the rules here.
I understand that's what you believe.
Okay. But that's reality. So, have you had time to think about it? 'Cause we don't want to take you to jail tonight. We don't want to forcibly remove you from the car.
Here we go.
But if you continue to believe that and not go with our lawful orders and all of that stuff, that's what we are going to do.
Because daddy government says we don't want to do it, but daddy told us that's what we got to do. If we don't do what daddy says, we're going to get in trouble. It's an absolutely childish mentality, guys. This is a man. This guy outside this window right here, he's a man. And this man is saying, I got to do what daddy says. If I don't do what daddy says, then I get in trouble and I might not get paid. I might not have my job. Guess what? It's going to take that. To change, to turn humanity around, to carve out a large slice of freedom, we got to get rid of this childish mentality of, I got to do it because ... said so. Because politician A said so. Because the city ordinance says so. Got to do it. I just no other way.
We don't want to do that, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think that would be a good idea.
We don't want to do it.
Well, then don't. You have free will.
Amen. Amen.
But also, we can't let things like this just go. Because
Why?
everybody's
What
gonna start-
crime have I committed?
We can't just let things like this go. It's like they have their horses with blinders on. It's like we can't do. There's no other way. But the way I see it, the way I've been trained, the way I've been indoctrinated, I've gone to college for this. This is how I understand it. I've talked to lawyers. They say this is the way it's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be. And you keep on saying the same thing over and over and over again, and you push it down into the subconscious and the conscious, and it just takes over the brain. And pretty soon, this is their reality. This is what we're dealing with, guys. This is why the battle is so difficult. We got to reassess and try to figure out, we got to come up with a new strategy to break into the hearts and the minds of these believers in government. They're cult members, guys. The largest death cult on planet Earth is government. It is a death cult. It is an order following death cult. And they will do up to and including loading you up on the box cars and taking you into the chlorine showers. They will do it because they're doing it for daddy government. They're doing it so that they can appease their big G God. This is the level we're at. And this is why people are dying with the drug war. And this is why we're filling the prison industrial complex. This is why we're funding the military industrial complex. This is why we've had ceaseless wars for the last, 95% of our country's existence. This is why we're no longer a country. This mentality underpins why we have a Federal Reserve, why we have an IRS, why the dollar is sinking in value and it's devaluing our currency. This is why we had to create the trade deal with OPEC and the Bretton Woods Agreement, and the reason why Nixon broke closed the gold window in 1971. This is the why of everything that exists right now that we're dealing with that puts tyranny into our lives and extracts freedom. This is why you can get a no-raid knock on the wrong door, and the guys who committed the crime, the guys in uniform and the military equipment that pulled up in that MRAP, that's why they don't get punished when they kill your dog. Why they don't get punished when they off Dennis Tuttle. Why nothing happens to them when Philip Brailsford pulls his trigger 7 times or 5 times on Daniel Shaver. Why a Matt Schaefer or a Matt Schneider can be hailed as a hero on live PD or one of those cop shows, and a month later tase a Johnny Wheatcroft in the private parts in terror in front of the eyes of his kids, and get away with it and not see 1 day in jail. Why an Amber Geiger can off a Botham John and get a really super light sentence and be handled with kid gloves and get a hug from the judge at the end. This is the mentality that underpins all of that. In addition to what happened in World War I and World War II and Korea and Vietnam, this is what enables that. So if we can get to the root of this, we can solve a whole lot of problems, lead ourselves into a land of major prosperity, and carve out a ton of freedom for our grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And that's what I want. And that's why this live stream is so freaking important. And this is what Taylor is dealing with head on here in a very calm, even keel manner here.
Without a license, right?
A crime requires a victim.
Okay. Well, the state of California is a victim.
State of California is not a person. This is what I'm talking about.
This is great.
I understand your beliefs, and I'm hearing what you were saying, right?
The cult member says, I understand your beliefs. That California is not a person is not a belief. It's a fact. California, the state is not a person. California is not a person. I understand your belief. No, belief would be saying California is a person. California has been harmed. California is the victim. That's the belief. The fact is, California is not a person. Therefore, California cannot be harmed. So what you just said is ridiculous, officer. I hope this cop is watching this video.
But what I'm telling you is that reality is, and I've read through it, the reality is that while you're in the state of California, you're required by law to have license plate, driver's license, fly yourself when a police officer pulls you over, all these different things. All right? So you believe the state of California can't be a victim. I'm telling you that it is, and there's reasons why.
I understand you believe that.
So,
yes.
That's where we find ourselves. If you continue to choose not to go with the program, so to speak, then we've already informed you of what's going to happen. So is that your decision currently and still moving forward? Because it would be a lot easier and a lot less stressful for everybody involved. And honestly, it wouldn't take very long for us to figure out who you are and then write a citation or whatever we're going to do.
I've told you who I am.
And then you to be on your way.
I've told you who I am. Everything is in that sworn affidavit. You can look me up.
Okay, I'm just telling you, we need to positively identify you with your driver's license. You can move on with this whole process, and then you can be on your way.
I do not have a driver's license because I am not driving commercially.
Okay, so you don't have a driver's license?
Not on me, no.
Okay. But you gave my officers your name and date of birth?
Yes, it is in the sworn affidavit that you said that you read over.
But your date of birth is not on there. It's just your name.
Okay, my date of birth is April 18th, 1995.
April 18th, 1995. Okay.
I love what Tim Hamby said. Or the officer could just say, have a nice day, you're free to leave. Or they could have just not pulled him over in the first place. Or the female officer could have pulled him over, done the traffic stop, and another cop come along and go, wait, it doesn't matter if he doesn't have a license, registration, or proof of insurance. Has he harmed anybody? If he did harm anybody, produce the victim. Where are they? Hey, see you later, sir. Sorry, my officer's new and she doesn't know what she's doing. So, we're all about freedom in this county. Yeah, you got a choice, officer. You've got a choice.
Have you ever been arrested before, been in any trouble, anything like that?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Thanks, John 146, for that membership.
What was that for?
Trespassing. For not wearing a mask.
How long ago was that?
Last year, or 2 years ago.
Okay. April 18th, 1995.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, there's a little bit of delay right here. Ex-bootlicker says that you can register your car in a diplomatic trust.
I've already been on your...
Hold on, what did she say?
Why are you being so difficult about this? I've already been on your way.
The person, here's the irony of this whole thing. The person who pulled another person over, the woman who pulled another man over. Guys, I'm not perfect at this. I use, you know, from what I understand, I think person is a corporate term that does not apply to a living man. But ex-bootlicker says, and this is why I do these live streams, guys. None of us is greater than all of us. I don't have all knowledge. Guys, I'm a slave. I'm a slave. We're all slaves. To what level are we free? I just want to get freedom. I'm speaking to you from the heart. This guy right here, you'll see later on in this interaction right here, he doesn't have all of his T's crossed and his I's dotted. He admits that he himself has a lot to learn, but he knows one thing. He just wants to be free. He just wants to be left alone. What's wrong with that? I see some detractors in the chat room, and I don't understand it. It's like, don't you want to be free? Don't you want to live in a world where you're not going to get extorted and threatened and pulled over and your rights trampled at a traffic stop because of some minor infraction where you weren't hurting anybody? Ex-bootlicker says you can register your car in a diplomatic trust and drive with no driver's license. I want to learn about this stuff. I want to learn about it. I want to get a deep understanding of it, and I want to put it in practice. And this takes time. It takes effort, energy, and when you live it out, it takes courage, because there are going to be bootlickers and tyrants who are going to try to make your life difficult, and that's a shame. Maybe we can just talk to them bring them down out of their uniform on a human level and just start talking to them about what they believe and why they believe, and try to start like softening up and breaking up their cognitive dissonance, because that's what this is all about.
You're cute.
If you weren't wanted for like murder.
I'm gonna play it all.
Why are you being so difficult about this? I've already been on your way.
You're cute.
If you weren't wanted for like murder or anything, and your VIN is covered, so we can't even figure out this car because you have no license plate. You have no license plate on your car and your VIN is covered. So I'm identifying this car. How do I know it's not stolen?
I don't know. How do you?
So now I have reasonable suspicion that you could potentially be driving a stolen vehicle.
Do you?
I do.
You're looking up my name. You'll see that it's registered to me.
I don't know if this car is registered to you. I don't know what the license plate is for it. I don't know what the VIN is for it. I don't even know who you are because you don't even have any...
I have provided you with my sworn affidavit, and that's everything you need is in there.
It's not, though.
Okay. Well, then you don't need it.
And that's something else interesting that she just revealed. She revealed, see, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I want to know. I want to know what your registration is, what your VIN is. I want to know about you. But what if I don't want you to know about me? No. I'm going to know about you because I'm going to force myself into your life. I'm going to intrude in a place that I'm not welcome. When you do that under regular human interaction, aside from this government nonsense, you are seen as a criminal. It is literally harassment. These cops are harassing people who have not committed a crime. That's a big issue, because if you were harassing somebody else, that would be seen as a crime even in the eyes of law enforcement, and they would arrest you for that.
We're trying to make this as easy as possible.
Yes, you are.
That's
been made clear.
To us having to use force to get you out of the car, and we don't want to go that route.
Good thing you have free will.
I think this is past free will. This is about laws in California.
Wow.
Wanted for something crazy? Is that what this is about? I'm just trying to figure out why we're playing this game right now.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
And like, where did they clock you? Like, we were doing like 25 miles an hour by the time they come.
I saw her. She was in one of the corners.
The 2 squad car thing confused me.
Yeah.
Just make sure I get your home address before.
This is all on video, so.
Just take the citation. What's up? Yeah.
Are you willing to step out of the car so you don't get dragged into all this?
I'm not willing to step out of the car, and I'd prefer not to get dragged into it. I will be sitting very peacefully with my hands available for sight the entire time.
Okay.
So I'll be, yeah.
So, by law, it's case law, in a traffic stop, a police officer has the right to get the driver and all occupants out of the car And if you refuse to get out of the car on your own accord, you can be arrested.
My concern is that
So hear me out real quick.
Yeah.
If you are wanting to not get wrapped up in this,
Mm-hmm.
it is a lawful order that you have to get out of the car when requested to do so by a police officer.
What's he pulling?
Okay. I hear you, and I'm willing to continue to engage with you. My concern is that by getting out of the car, I will have given you access to this car.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that's my concern.
Okay. Are you willing to go to jail to do that?
Well,
I'm
I'm talking to him, sir.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I guess I am.
I would like
Okay,
to
so
mention
you
that
are
I am.
also refusing to get out of the car.
I'm not refusing.
Well, that's what you just told me.
No, you asked me a hypothetical question, and I answered
Okay,
hypothetically.
Well, now I'm not talking.
He needs to listen to Taylor. Taylor's stop talking. Stop talking. The more you talk, the more they gather the data, the more they can use against you. Stop talking. Now the cop is going to pull Pennsylvania versus Mims. I'm telling you, we have everything on this traffic stop.
Hypothetical. I'm requesting you as a passenger in a vehicle that was pulled over
Mm-hmm.
to get out of the vehicle. That is a lawful order.
And
If you do not do that, you will be arrested for Penal Code 148A1.
He's just trying to intimidate.
may I
you.
look that up on my phone?
Sure.
Sure. Thanks.
He's trying to
What is it?
intimidate.
He's just trying to intimidate.
I got you, buddy.
Just don't answer questions.
I'll tell it to you again once you get your Google open.
I'm ready.
PC for Penal Code 148A1.
It's good memory. CAPC. I'm a slow reader. Just give me
And
a
then
second.
I'll also tell you the case law if you want to read that too.
Sure. You can tell it to me, and I'll.
So
I'm
this
ready for
is-
you.
I believe this is the name of the case law. I
Mhm.
mean, I know the case law, but as far as the name of it,
Yep.
I believe it's Pennsylvania v. Mims.
There you go.
Ooh, good
He just,
memory.
he just
All right.
pulled Pennsylvania v. Mims.
Whatever, you can feel free to research that as well if you would like.
Take care of this. Chapter 7.
Does that sound like the right one?
Now remember, Pennsylvania v. Mims deals with the law enforcement officer who is fearing for their lives, thinking that there might be a weapon in the car. I don't see any of the cops fearing for their lives right here. So he's overstepping his bounds. Further, Pennsylvania v. Mims is decidedly anti-Fourth Amendment, just like Terry v. Ohio is decidedly anti-Fourth Amendment. And besides that, Pennsylvania v. Mims is a violation of natural law. They pulled this guy over for committing absolutely no crime, saying that he actually did commit a crime by violating traffic law. It's all a made up bunch of arbitrary, stinking nonsense.
The first one you gave me, or the second one?
Well, the first one is what you would be arrested for.
Mm.
The second one is the case law backing it.
Oh, I see. Does Pennsylvania case law apply to California?
It applies to the entire United States.
Is this a federal thing?
Does that sound like about what it is?
Let me.
Oh, you're on the penal code?
They're trying
That's
to
right.
threaten and coerce using Supreme Court case law.
I might be here for a while, making sure I understand this law.
Talk about making things complex and convoluted and evil.
To answer your questions.
The language is has a lot of language about me
Yeah,
trying to
absolutely.
take your weapon and whatnot, and it just doesn't seem like it really applies to the situation. I'm certainly not delaying or obstructing anything that you're doing. I'm locked into the car
But
currently.
you are by refusing to get out.
Yeah, if anything, the cops are delaying and obstructing freedom. So what's more important? What holds more weight? Obstructing an officer in the course of his duties, or an officer obstructing your freedom? I think we all know the answer to that.
I have,
You're obstructing my tyranny. Well, wait a second. You're obstructing my freedom, which is more important.
There might be like a case brief or a case summary
I haven't
down at the bottom.
I haven't outright refused, actually.
What? I can't hear you.
I was reading out loud.
Oh, okay.
Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like. Really helps.
I'll even go on to say that when you refuse to identify yourself, being that unless this traffic stop was for like you not wearing a seatbelt or something that you were doing,
Yeah.
So here's the deal, okay?
I'll let them.
If we write you a citation for the vehicle,
He did not just say, here's the deal. Hold on. I gotta play this again.
Traffic stop was for like you not wearing a seatbelt or something that you were doing.
Amen.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, okay?
I gotta clip this. Hold on a second. That's gonna be, let's see.
So here's the deal, okay?
Here's the deal. Okay, let me turn this up. We're gonna play it again. Okay, it's gonna be another clip added to my arsenal of clips.
Amen.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, okay?
I'll let them.
If we write you a citation for the vehicle code, equipment violations, and like the misdemeanor violations that you're committing right now, will you sign the citation and be released from the scene with the citation and a signature, with your legal signature?
Yes.
Okay. For us to do that, we need to be able to identify your vehicle. So we need either a license plate or the VIN so we can attach the vehicle, because that's the original probable cause for the stop, right?
So they backed up and they're trying to compromise now. So where it was, we're gonna bust out your window and drag you out of the vehicle. Now they're making concessions. Interesting. Stay tuned. Wait till you see what happens.
So we need to attach that to the citation.
529 likes and 868 people in the room. Let's see if we can get up to maybe 600 likes. I don't know. It really helps with the algorithm.
Will you remove your paperwork there so we can identify your VIN?
Sure.
Sounds like it's working itself out.
Okay. And as we, yeah. And so look, the way this is gonna work, right? We're gonna cite you the violations. It needs to be your legal signature, okay? It can't be some phrase or like a part of the affidavit. It has to be your name, right? Okay? Like as it appears on whatever your legal documents are. Cool? All right.
I'm going to open the center console.
What's up?
I'm going to open the center console.
Okay.
You're welcome to,
That's fine.
yeah, observe.
Isn't that sad that you got to do that? Please don't shoot me
Turn it into a
in fear for your life.
the restrictive endorsement.
Obviously, and if you don't sign, then you're basically demanding to be brought before a magistrate, at which point you'd be taken into custody. Okay? So just keep that in mind for the rest of this process.
What's up? What do you think about all this?
I think it's a headache.
Why are you doing it?
Hey,
Well, my partner pulled you over
Passenger.
Yeah, man.
for
Yeah.
If you do find yourself in this
So-
situation again,
Yeah.
you
just
identifying
know,
yourself.
it is completely up to the officer. That
I hate when cops do this. They start talking to one guy on one side and another guy on the other side, and then it gets all confusing. It would really be best if the passenger, and I'm not, dude, if you watch this video, I'm not down on you because we're all at certain levels and we all have learning to do. But it's really a good idea not to talk to a police officer unless you know what you're doing and what you can articulate so you can put them on their heels. Because when they want to talk to you and extract information out of you, they got you on your heels. They're asking you questions, hoping you're going to contradict yourself. And if they do, well, they consider it a felony if you lie to them.
handling this call,
Yeah.
Which I
you
did.
would go to jail or not.
Uh-huh.
In this case,
That's not required.
An ID or
I
a
won't
picture.
speak for what's going to
That-
happen. but
not
the
required.
sounds of that
Picture?
Sounds like
Is not required.
they're
Well, how did you
willing to work
identify
with you
yourself?
guys.
I'm not even
But
familiar
if
with
you
With my
have
affidavit of
this
status.
again,
Okay.
Hey,
if you
Yeah, no, I just was saying what's up.
100% Go to jail.
Where are you guys going?
Back to my
for
place.
What I told you.
Put a 1 in the room if you guys operate under an affidavit of status. Put a 1 in the room if you operate on an affidavit of status. I need to learn this stuff.
Where you live?
You get what I
Right
mean
down
by
the street.
I
PCH.
think so, yeah.
You're in Laguna
So-
or
Yeah.
further south?
You're basically
Yeah,
handling
right down here.
whether the
Yeah.
other-
Have you been?
Not in Laguna,
I
no.
would
Just like randomly on the highway.
What happens?
We'd probably get along outside this car.
This is
You guys
the
I said we'd probably get
this is
along
the
outside
first
of this car.
time
You'll probably
that
train
I've-
jiu-jitsu or something. Y'all are cool.
since I became aware
No,
of
go
this.
ahead.
This is the first time that I've been pulled over. Before I used to have a driver's license. I would have like gotten out of the car and like done all the thing. This is the first time that this has happened with yeah.
Can I see the note?
What?
Will you show
When
me
you
that
said
note
like
in
you
the
learned
note?
about all this?
What's that?
When you said I learned about all this?
Yeah.
What are you referencing?
About
Like what did you learn? Like what changed?
about
That made you get rid of the driver's license and
What is that?
yeah, about sovereignty and the fact that
You know what that means?
Nope.
the fact that we are essentially slaves to the United States government, which is by definition, that you can look this up. This is all information that's out there. A for-profit corporation that's located in the District of Columbia.
And that's 28 USC 3002 15A. United States means a federal corporation. That means everybody under that corporation is a corporate entity and are viewed as a corporate entity through their birth certificate, according to some of the research that I've done. Interesting stuff here. I don't trust this cop as being genuine, but it sure does look like a barrier. A couple barriers have come down, and it looks like he's maybe genuinely asking a question, although I don't trust it.
So
612 likes. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I mean, this stuff goes deep, but like a driver's license is only required if you're driving commercially, like getting paid to, Uber drivers, for example, they need a driver's license. But if you're just traveling, by definition, it is not required to have a driver's license because that only applies to commercial.
Driving in commerce, Uber driver, bus driver, FedEx driver, UPS driver, they're using the roadways to conduct commerce, to make a living. It's totally different from going point A to point B to go to Uncle George's house or to pick up the kids or go to the grocery store.
Driving. And so that's just one example. And so for a crime, like if I would have been speeding and, hit somebody's car, that would be a crime because there was a victim. So I damaged somebody else's property. For that, I should be held accountable.
Very simple. Yeah.
If there is no victim, like just speeding and it's like nothing happens, for example, or running a stop sign even, and there's, nobody gets hit, no damaged property, then there's no victim, then there's no actual crime. Mm-hmm. So,
so I respect like what you think is right. Everyone has their own things, but for future reference, the reason that it's escalated to this is when people refuse to get out of their car, it raises the hair on our neck that there might be weapons inside.
But why did you pull me over in the first place if we didn't commit a crime? You have to come to terms with this, officer, that you're treating traffic code like the 10 Commandments that came down from God. Is that true? Because there was a time in this country where we didn't have traffic code and there was supposed to be the supreme law of the land. So when did traffic code take over and why are you accepting this as your reality?
I understand. It's also
that's why we've been persistent trying to ask you out of the car.
I understand. My best friend is a cop. I understand. Like I've grown up with cops. I have nothing against you guys. A lot of it is also due to my ignorance and my inability to explain all of this effectively to where it doesn't escalate to this level. Mm-hmm. So it's on me for not being able to educate you well because I'm still learning this stuff.
Love the humility
as well.
Love the humility.
But it's
because of the same thing. She pulls you over for the same reason. She asks you to get out, you get out. You get the tickets that she's going to get.
See, that's the thing, weapons, NF weapon. Oh, wait a second. NF says weapons in the car is legal and lawful. See, we got to get away from that stuff. What's legality? What's illegality? What's lawful? Weapons in the car is just weapons in the car. It's like a jug of milk in the car is legal and lawful. Well, wait, that doesn't make sense. Paper clips in the car is legal and lawful. A gallon of gas in the car in case you run out is legal and lawful. You have a right to keep and bear arms. It is actually a right that supersedes and transcends legality and illegality. And I'm not talking down to you. I'm just saying in my own heart, there's some terminology that needs to be changed, and there's some understanding that we need to come into so that we can effectively communicate what's going on here. It's neither legal nor illegal to have a personal protection device in your car or your house or in your hand or on your side. It's neither legal nor illegal. It's just an inanimate object on your side. Now, people use this tool, this inanimate object, to do good or evil, but the inanimate object itself can't do good or evil, is neither good nor evil, and neither legal nor lawful.
Give you anyway, without the criminal charge of resisting or obstructing the peace officer. So you'd be same thing without the criminal charge if you would.
So I'm not worried about any of that because it's all bullshit.
Okay. Is that what you would tell a judge?
No, that is not what I would.
Oh, is it 18 USC 242? Sorry, guys. Somebody just corrected me. Is it 18 USC 242? Yeah, Troy, thanks. Wrong, Brian. It's 18 USC 242 15A, not 28. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Tell a judge.
tell a judge?
I don't know what I would tell a judge. I haven't studied enough to.
Oh, wait.
To go to.
I just read 3002 and I said 242. Sorry, it's 18 USC 3002 15A. Okay. Sorry, guys. Jeez.
Court, but
I don't think that would get you very far in a courtroom.
I don't think so either. That would probably be a stupid thing to say.
But you're willing to put yourself in that situation
100%.
unnecessarily.
Yes, because that's how I learn.
Because what?
That's how I learn from experience. I'm a fuck around and find out type of guy if you haven't gotten that by now, Mr. Meyer.
All right, let me just correct this. Okay, I was right. It is 28 USC 242. Okay, let me just show you. Let me see if I can put this up on the screen. Hold on one second. Let me put this over there. And let me drop that down there. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. It's better to just show you. This shows that even the United States says that it is a corporate. 18 USC 242 is deprivation of rights under color of law. 18 USC 241 is conspiracy against rights. And 28 USC 3002 15A is this right here. Let me just get that off of there. This right here, let me get rid of that. This right here is Cornell Law School 28 U.S. Code 3002 definitions 15A. And this is an eye opener for a lot of people. I bet a large percentage of Americans actually think that the government thinks, or government agents think, that the United States is a country when they admit in their own U.S. code that the United States means a federal corporation. This is 28 USC 3002 15A. The United States means federal corporation. That's what this is. Or the land of the free, home of the brave? Nah, not so much. It's a corporation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States Corporation. That's what they actually should be saying, because it's been like that for a long time. And Amshar Rothschild said, give me control over a nation's money, and I don't give a damn who makes its laws. Because if they control the purse strings, and they do, then they control the value and issuance of your time and laboring energies. That money that you have, it's representative of your time and laboring energies, and you can't forget that, because they don't forget it. So let's get back to this. So yeah, Troy, it's 28 USC 3002 15A, not 18. Geez, sorry for the mix up there, guys. All learning experience.
It's proven so far.
Have you ever been arrested before?
Yes.
Similar circumstances or something else?
Similar circumstances, misunderstanding.
Like another traffic stop?
Trespassing.
Oh.
For not wearing a mask.
Can you
in
believe
an
that?
airport.
Unbelievable.
So not the same circumstance.
No, similar. Again, a victimless crime. I am not a criminal. I do not commit crimes. I don't damage anybody's property. I don't harm anybody. Who am I supposed to have harmed?
I can say that again.
Who am I supposed to have harmed?
Good question. Good question.
So in order to be a victim, there needs to be an injury?
Yes.
Yes, or damage of property or stolen property.
Yes.
There needs to be another human victim.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Which you know.
Okay.
But I mean, I fully understand you have your beliefs, but as you're a smart guy, you're well aware that that's not the law.
I had your head spinning, Abstract. My head was spinning. Steve Sanders for the super chat. Huge thank you. Your followers got me to 15,000 subscribers. Awesome, Steve Sanders. Awesome. I want to help this guy out too. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to be giving this the Captain's Lifestyle link. We're going to all go over there. We're going to blitz this guy. We're going to give him some great comments because he did a really good job. We haven't hit the end yet. Let's watch this end.
I'm aware that
the end is perfect.
That's what you believe. It's citation and code and violation, but law, like highest law, common law, is for trespassing.
Law, right? So,
technically, no, but that's what the cop thinks.
Well, I mean, we could go back and forth with this sovereign citizen thing all day.
I am not a sovereign citizen.
That's exactly what you are.
No, that is an oxymoron. A sovereign cannot be a citizen. It's an impossibility.
That is true.
It's a stupid phrase. It doesn't make sense.
It's like airline food or tight slacks or military intelligence. It's an oxymoron. The two don't go together. Like righteous policing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a righteous cop, a good cop. No, they're oxymorons.
I at least appreciate you're friendly.
Yeah, like I said, I have nothing against you. I understand 100% why you guys are doing what you do.
I think you're a smart guy. And being a smart guy, you understand that you could be going to jail tonight, and whether that happens or not, it could.
Yes.
It legally 100% could. Both of you guys.
But it will only happen. I will only go to prison if you decide to take me to prison in spite of the fact that there is no victim that I've created. Do you understand that? I only go to a cage tonight, not because of what politicians said, not because of what the city council expects you to do, not because of your police chief, because you, officer, will make a decision to take away the freedom of another man because of scribblings of traffic code on pieces of paper. You have to understand that. That's the only way I'm going to a cage tonight. Not because of my actions, because I didn't do anything wrong. It's because you perceive that I've done something wrong because your political overlords have told you this is the way things are and you just believed them. And then you became an order follower. And then you became the worst part of humanity.
Legally, like actual legally, no. Like if it went to court, then absolutely not.
Oh, absolutely it would.
I understand you believe that.
Yeah, he's threatening. Of course he is.
You're not the first person to do this.
I'm well aware, yes.
So we'll see how they want to proceed. But at this point, you were requested to get out of the vehicle.
That's not what the cop should be saying. We'll see how we're going to proceed. You know what the cop should be saying? You know what, man? I took an oath. I took an oath to make sure that you're secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects in your property. And over my dead body, somebody's going to take you out of this car. That's what the cop should be saying. He should, not only should he not be doing what he's doing, but he should be doing the thing in the positive, going, why have you guys pulled this guy over when there's no victim? And that's what every single traffic stop is. There's not a victim. Not a victim.
Do you like being a cop?
I do.
Why?
I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to get into all that stuff.
Okay, well, I'm not going to get into your stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
What stuff
Hey,
was
just
I
curious.
trying to get into?
Whatever questions you have. If you're not going to answer my questions, I'm not going to answer your questions.
I love this guy.
Well, that's off topic. I was talking about this specific traffic stop in your...
Oh, I don't give a shit about this traffic stop. I want to know how you're doing.
You should, because it has a lot to do with whether you leave from here or not.
Oh.
Driving away.
That's something I should care about.
Notice how they try to deflect. This traffic stop has everything to do with what happens to you tonight. No, this traffic stop has nothing to do with it. You have everything to do with it, however.
Oh, why should I care about that? What if I'm supposed to be here, right now?
Well, eventually you're going to either have to leave driving away from here, walking away from here, or us driving away from here in handcuffs. So, I mean, eventually there's going to be a next step, right?
Well, who's to say one of those is bad and one of those is good? How do we know?
Well, that's fine. If you think getting arrested is good, then that's fine. That's your opinion. You can think that. But bottom line, it's going to be up to the officer that pulled you over how this ends up.
Heard.
Okie doke.
I was nice enough to give your friend here some case law, which hopefully was a extremely interesting read for you.
I was nice enough to give your friend some case law. Okay, just go ahead and pat yourself on the back. You were nice enough to give him on case law while you are currently men with guns, including you, are detaining me. That's not being very nice.
Law is not interesting. It's very boring.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that went to law school that hated it.
What's up, brother?
I was going to ask you. So, because you're getting a citation, they were explaining that to you. You'll have a court date to go before a judge.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to tell the judge about this?
I'm going to have to do some studying and cite some case law and cite the fact that I am not a citizen and you guys do not have jurisdiction over me and I committed no crime and there are no witnesses, there's no victims, there's been no crime committed.
And then do you keep the cameras in the car
No.
in case this happens?
No, I create content for a living.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of content?
Lifestyle content. Health, fitness, life. Yeah.
Just curious.
Yep.
It's just odd that like someone would have a GoPro with a mic on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
It seems like you almost wanted this to happen.
No, I carry this with me all the time.
Oh yeah, I want to be surrounded by men with guns who have itchy trigger fingers and are known for fearing for their lives and pulling the trigger on pretty much anybody, including household pets. Yeah, that's what I want in my life. So I can get some content at the risk of my life. No thanks.
It is good content though, so thanks guys.
Do you have like a YouTube channel or like social media?
I do. Captain Taylor Morgan.
I can't hear you.
Captain Taylor Morgan.
Grand Rising.
Taylor Morgan.
That's me.
Grand Rising.
Yes.
Do you like film your daily life?
Yes, and in fact, that's precisely what I do, yes.
How many subscribers are we talking about?
On YouTube right now, 4.43K.
4.43K. We're going to change that, guys. We're going to change. There's 900 people in here right now. As a matter of fact, no, let's keep going with this, and then we're gonna all visit his channel. We're gonna blitz it and see if we can't get him at least 400 or 500 new subscribers tonight.
Yeah, YouTube is the newest addition. Yeah.
You get Google checks from Google.
Google, like what, reviews?
Does Google pay? Like,
Google does. YouTube does.
Oh.
YouTube does pay.
Yes, from YouTube. Yeah, not from Google.
Don't you need like over 1,000 subscribers to start getting?
To start monetizing,
Yeah.
And a certain number of views in like a 3-month period.
Okay.
Be good to release some. Well, you probably can't, but like body cam footage.
Sure, listen to my
All right, Mr. Blaine, you're being issued a citation.
Now watch this.
Speeding, no plates, not having your license when you're driving, conducting a peace officer. Okay, so you are being issued a misdemeanor citation. I need you to sign right here. It's not admitting guilt, it's just saying you're going to take care of the ticket on or before the date printed on your ticket.
I'll sign on the physical ticket.
You have to sign on here.
No, I'll sign on the physical ticket.
So if you're refusing to sign, that's you indicating that you want to go straight to seeing a judge, which means we have to take you into custody right now. So I'm trying to avoid taking
I'm not
you to jail
refusing to
tonight.
sign.
Okay,
Am I being issued a citation?
What an order follower.
Can I see that citation?
The copy of the citation.
We can even print out a copy with your signature on it. Is that what you're requesting?
Cool. So yeah, this I will
So hear
sign.
me out. If
So
you sign that thing,
that's
we'll
just
print.
Kim Osborne says, I hope there's not an acorn hanging on a tree nearby, man.
out a
that
copy with
prints,
your
we have to
signature
actually
on
have
it.
you sign the
Okay.
e-sign.
Yeah.
Sign the sheen first, and then we'll do that.
Watch it.
Okay.
They're not going to accept this.
Where's the little device?
Just sign in the gray area, and it has to be your legal signature.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it looks real great.
Kind of fat fingers, huh?
Yeah, that's not working well.
And that's your legal signature when you got your driver's license.
That's what you get
I
on
have a
on that
picture.
thing.
No, so it's supposed to be your legal signature. I have a copy of it back there when you got your driver's license.
Okay.
It's on your Cal photo.
Okay.
This is not your legal signature. So I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to give you one more opportunity to sign with your legal signature. Okay? You failing to do so again, then that just means you want to go see a judge because you're failing to give your legal signature. Okay? So we're going to clear
How
this.
are you gonna tell me what my
That's
signature is?
Because it's not, it's when you got your driver's license, your signature, you use that, is your legal signature.
Uh-huh.
So I need you to use your legal signature from when you got your driver's license.
Great. We'll do it again.
Okay.
Written in a distinct form. Name written in a distinct form that is used to identify yourself or provide authorization on important documents. It can be a series of squiggles, a picture, or even a traditional X
Yeah,
for
they're
people who
just
can't
making
read
shit
or
up.
write.
Yeah, so this is not a signature.
It's-
So your signature right here is on your affidavit, sir, that you gave us, and that is not what that looks like. So it has to be your legal signature. Your legal signature is on this affidavit you gave to us, and this is not your signature. It's on my body cam. This is not your legal signature. Okay?
What about that is not legal?
I don't know.
One more. I'm going to clear it one more time. Otherwise, you're going to be taken into custody at that point, and we're not going to go the misdemeanor route anymore. You're going to actually go to jail.
This chick loves using threats. Loves using threats. This just got more dangerous when you have an order following, badge wearing clown tyrant who's acting like this. Things can go south real quick. And then when you start laughing at her and mocking like these two guys are, they can get their feelings hurt really quick. And when their ego snaps, guns start coming out and projectiles start flying.
Jail, and you're going to see a judge.
It's not an admission of guilt, dude. It's just a promise to appear or to take care of this.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fuck with you guys.
It seems like you are. So it has to be your legal signature.
It seems like you're trying to fuck with us.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
we've actually been very patient.
We've been
ahead
very
and sign
patient.
if you-
We've been very patient as we've surrounded your vehicle, minus everything but gunpoint, with all of our threats.
You want to look at this? Just as
It
a
is
reminder
truly
of your
disgusting.
legal
It is.
signature. That works too.
It constitutes a signature.
Right. Here's a copy of that.
Almost
Paper
1,000
license plate on your
viewers,
car.
guys.
You're gonna continue to get
757
stopped.
likes. Hit the like button.
We'll remove that piranha from your car.
What's a piranha?
Like, what do I do with this?
What's a piranha?
They put some on my car. I can pop the tire if I drove away. All right, well, that's that.
That was funny. And
So they got the stop sticks under the tires during this traffic stop.
not funny.
We live to see another day.
Full signature means the legal signature of the individual. It can be a series of squiggles, a picture, or even a traditional X for people who can't read it right.
She is a bully.
Am I free to drive away? Is the thing off? The piranha? What? You took the piranha off? Okay, bye. Love you. Thanks. Have a good night.
Oh my God.
Okay, watch
Mr.
this.
Myers was upset. That guy was butthurt.
I'm about to run this red light.
Don't. No, dude. No, you did not.
He just turned left on
Oh
red.
my God, dude.
Come get me, motherfucker.
He just turned left on red.
Oh my God.
Yo ho, yo ho, pirate's
Oh
life for
my
me.
God, dude.
That's freaking hilarious.
Oh my God. They're totally gonna come do it. How far are you?
Not far.
Freaking hilarious.
Man. That shit was so silly. Man, I'm learning a ton.
Yeah.
Just sit, remember to breathe, just be patient. My God.
All right, so let's go to this guy's channel, okay? Let's go to, let's see, there it is right there. This is this guy's channel, and here's the video. So what I want to do is he's got 4.86 thousand subscribers right now, 685 videos. We're going to go to this video right. This is the video we were watching. Let me get rid of all this stuff. Let's see, go to that. We're going to do a real quick blitz. Let's get everybody involved. So we're going to write some comments under his video. I'm going to give you the link to this video right now in the chat. So watch for it. Here is the link. Gotta go to this other. Here we go. And I will read the super chats, guys. Here is this guy's link. This is the Captain's Lifestyle, Captain Taylor Morgan. Let's see. Here's the link. So go to that link. And if you leave him a comment under this video, like I'm about to do, I'll read some of these out. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to read all of them. Good job, man. Come on a live stream. Come on a live stream and let's talk freedom. So I dropped that comment. I noticed they erased my last comment. Anytime you tell somebody to contact you, I think the word contact is an algorithmic trigger word, and then they just remove it. So I'm sure he didn't get that. Did I put it under this comment? No, he didn't do a pin. He should have done a pin comment on this. Okay, so now he's at 297, 4.97 thousand subscribers. Let me show you his Social Blade. Too bad Social Blade doesn't keep up with stuff in real time. Here's his Social Blade right here. The most views he ever had in a month is 69,239, and that is in the month of December of 2022. Let's see if we can blow that out of the water. He gained in January, the most subscribers he ever gained in 1 month was 1,210 subscribers, followed by 190 subscribers, or that's 250. But this guy definitely deserves more subscribers. Wouldn't it be cool if he became like the new auditor, one of the new auditors? So I'm going to refresh this page. You guys are saying just sub. If you sub him, just put sub in the chat and we'll try to get this going. I'm going to read some super chats real quick. Let me go over to this other page. I just found out how to do it. I can go into another page. Let me refresh this. Make sure I got all of them. All right. So the first super chat was John. He says, no government is stronger than we, the people. 250 years ago, the Tea Party. Today, Massachusetts is going again, protesting the redcoats. And BIP Solar Bear says, I'm so butthurt. I'm just kidding, man. Just kidding about being butthurt. Did you get my email on Lincoln, Nebraska Police Department response? Are you talking about in addition to this video that I did on the Lincoln, Nebraska Police Department? Cop cites a 19-year sheriff's veteran for failure to arrest. Are you talking about in addition to that, BIP Solar Bear? John Wesley drops a super chat and says, Idaho Supreme Court versus Christina Eve Wharton says passengers must ID for officer safety. Even when no officer safety issues exist, please spread. BIP Solar Bear says, you said for us to email you if we could find out the source of the fines and fees. 2 warrants for shoplifting and 1 warrant for trespassing. Oh, gotcha. The Nebraska thing. Yeah, that's right. Because this 19-year sheriff's deputy veteran failed to arrest 2 people for 2 warrants. And BIP Solar Bear is saying one of those warrants was for shoplifting and 1 warrant was for trespassing. Thanks, BIP Solar Bear. I appreciate it. That's what you were trying to tell me. Steve Sanders says, huge thank you. Your followers got me 15,000 subscribers. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate what you're doing out there, too. John Wesley also says in another super chat, typically I feel like I'm living in idiocracy, not in this chat room. This gives me hope for humanity. I love you all. That's why I like doing these live streams, because I look in the chat room and I see what you guys say, and it actually encourages the crud out of me. It absolutely encourages the crud out of me. So I appreciate it. Let me just make sure that I'm up to speed on all the super chats. Thank you guys for all the members being in here. We're going to refresh this page here in a second. See if we can't give him a record month for new subscribers. There's still 824 people in here. If just 10% of us would subscribe to him, he would have an additional 80 subscribers. So we're at 4.97 thousand subscribers. Let's see if we can get him over 5,000. Let me refresh the page. Refresh. All right, he's got 5.14 thousand subscribers. All right, let me go to new posts. Tanya says, sending love from Wyoming. Yeah, let him know here's the deal sent you too. What I really want to do is get his attention so that he can appear on a live stream so we can all learn together. This would be great. Lowering the bar to the point that they have scaredy cats, says Joe. Chad says, that was awesome. You're my hero. We all need to learn from you. Good thing there were no acorns falling. MPCS says female cop sounds like a 9-year-old playing robot. Jordan says here from Here's the Deal. Thanks, Jordan, for shouting that out. With Brian, love this channel, Captain. Looking forward to learning more. Here's the Deal. You did great. New sub says 10 Suzanne. Just going to shorten that. Gump Bama. Just weighed in. Just sub, says Mark Green. Brian from Here's the Deal sent me. Great video. Freedom Lover. Dr. Evils. Army Captain. CC777 says HTD sent me. Thank you. Here from Here's the Deal says DM. Is that DMC? DMC68. Kenny says great job. Gumpster Bot. Peace sign. Joe also says she sounds like she's 14 years old. At Mark Passio, have a look. You know what's interesting about that? He tags Mark Passio in this thing right here. Look at this. He's got an at Mark Passio right there. I don't know who One Stupid Whatever is. The Bad Wolf, Christopher Hauser, Alfonso Fagiolo. All right, so let's refresh again. So it went from 5.14 to 5.17. You guys are jamming, man. You guys are jamming. New sub, Here's the Deal sent me. Aloha brother says, hello. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Ahoy, Captain. I'm glad ye know government is and always will be slavery. Be careful around the road pirates or you might be having a meeting with Davy Jones himself, says Steve. Brian from Here's the Deal sent me, says Ronald. Danny Williams says, Here's the Deal sent me. New sub. Here's the Deal sent me, says Damon. Kenny also. All right, guys. You guys are killing it. I appreciate that. All right, let me go back to the chat room. Man, I need to get my windows organized here. Put a 1 in the room if you subbed him. Appreciate you doing that. Also, just wanted to let you know this video is brought to you by... Oh, what's going on here? What just happened? Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, and stop the pignorance. If we don't stop the pignorance, if we don't stop the idea that these cops have this full-fledged, wholehearted belief in government to the point they're actually going to put their hands on you. Just think about the insanity. They're actually going to break your window, unlock your door, open it, rip you out of there just because you didn't have a tail light. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my DCs, the IRS, the Federal Reserve, the political parasites, speak up for our rights, hold on to our rights, exert our rights. We're done, man. We're done. And that's the goal of this video, is to advance freedom. Stream is down? The stream stopped? How did the stream stop? Oh, whoa. How did the stream stop? Whoa, I don't know how the stream stopped. That's weird. It's back up. I don't know what just happened. Did it stop when I turned around? Did anybody read the back of my shirt? It's buffering? YouTube cutting you off as you speak. That's weird. I wonder why it's buffering. I got a good connection. Let me see what my speed is. See what my connection is. Speed test. I got a pretty fast connection. It should not be buffering. Is it back on now? It's live now? Lagging bad? Can hear you now. Ads. Jeez, what's going on here? Anyway, guys, subscribe to this guy. Again, that's the Captain's Lifestyle. Captain